Welcome to Cellular Telecom. In this video, we're going to talk about modifying a campaign. So first we'll go to Detail View. And you can currently see it's going to set to an active mode, so the campaign is active. It's set to allow closers, which means it's allowed to receive inbound calls as well as from the dialer as well. We have your dial statuses. These are the statuses that the system will be calling. So whatever's on there, the system is going to call. By default, when you upload these, it's set to new leads. So once it goes through the system, it may categorize some leads as busy or answer machine. Once you reset the status of the list, it then will call whatever's on the dial statuses. So whatever here is what's going to be calling back. Here you have your minimum hopper level. Generally have it set that to 500. That's basically a giant queue, a pool of a giant queue for numbers the system will call from. Here you have your method, dial method. By default, it's the ratio of 1. By default, we recommend putting it to 4. So it dials 4 numbers per agent, depending on how good your leads are. If your leads are very good, you may want to reduce it so you don't have any drop calls, or if you have customers or clients waiting for it to speak to an agent. If you get a lot of answer machines or voicemails in between, or you're just getting not enough connectivity, you may want to increase it so your agents are just sitting there waiting for a call to come in. We also have a manual. So at this point, when you're on your agent screen, instead of waiting for a call to come in, you'll be clicking next, 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 and the system will try to connect the call until somebody actually gets a live person on there. So you're just literally clicking next, next, next until an actual call comes in. Here you have your queue priorities. So if the inbound has greater priority over the dialer itself, is what it should be. That way, when the call comes in through an inbound, the dialer stops and accepts the call from coming in. If the priority is reverse and the dialer has higher priority than the inbound, what's going to happen is that the dialer will continue to dial until it runs out of leads, and that will let the inbound calls come in. And it'll block all inbound calls from coming in until the dialer finishes. The longest wait time, by default, you just set the longest wait time for the agent, the next agent on call. You can set it to random, as well as fewest calls, or options you can play around with, see whichever option you prefer to use. You have the local call times. Those are the local call times of the leads. So if you call California, it will call California between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., not 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. of your time. This is a dial timeout. We generally set it to 28 seconds. This is basically how long the system will continue to ring until it either gets somebody on the line or if it simply gives up. So by default, we set it to 28. This is the campaign caller ID. This is what would show up in the system when they call the customer, and it has their caller ID on there. For example, you can see the phone number on there. We'll do for reference sake, we'll use a random number. And this is what they would show up when they receive a missed call. And they'll call back to that number, which should hopefully be connected to an inbound group on the UniDial system. You also have options to do custom caller ID, area code caller CID. So wherever state you're calling in, it will show up as a DID from that particular state. So if you call California, you want to show up a California DID. That's what it would show up as. Routing extension is 8368. By default, that is if it connects a call, it sends a call to an agent, regardless of who's on the other line, if it's an answer machine or voicemail. 8369 is answer machine detection. You have 80% chance of hanging up an answer machine, 20% chance of hanging up an actual customer. Campaign recording, by default, set to on demand. We generally always recommend putting on all fours, which basically means that it records every call that's coming in and out without the ability of the agent to stop and start the call. Call notes per call. This is basically allows you to leave notes on the lead itself. So, for example, say call back after this time, or you got to speak to this person, or whatever the case may be. So when a person calls back in, they'll see a list of notes, of logs, of what's happened. So it makes it easier for them to help them out. Here you have an answer machine message. So if the system picks up an answer machine, it will automatically leave a message in the customer's answer machine. Here you have enable transfer preset. So basically, if you put in particular numbers here to transfer to, so when a customer calls in, they're hold on, let me get you over to this number for verification or whatever the case may be. You put in the number here, and you would enable this here. So they'll hit, for example, D1 or D2, and it automatically call the number over to there. Also have the option to hide a number to dial. So if the only one to dial what's on the preset, then you would enable this option. So it has any number for them, so it removes the option for them to dial any other number. Here you just schedule callbacks. For example, if you go ahead and activate it, if you do a schedule callback alert, say blinking red. So when you have scheduled callbacks at the beginning of the day, when you log into your system as an agent, you'll see if you have any callbacks that are available for you to dial, and at what time these callbacks need to occur. Here you have your drop action. So if you, for this case, we set to 99 seconds. So after 99 seconds, if nobody's talked to this customer and all the agents are on the line, it's going to drop the call or hang up in this case. So you have the option of either going to voicemail, in-group, or call menu, or just simply play a message, which allows them to give them more chance rather than just dropping the call, maybe having a chance of talking to them afterwards. So you have your internal DNC list and a campaign DNC list. The difference is that the internal is across the board. Campaign is campaign specific. So if you upload the same leads to campaign A and B, and campaign A tells me, put me a do not call list, we're going to call the same person again on campaign B because it's a campaign specific DNC list. Here you have an agent pause code. So this allows the agents to, when they go on pause, to give a reason why they're on pause. For example, if they're going to go the break or bathroom or lunch, it prompts them to give them a reason why they're on pause to help you better control your agents. Here you have your three-way outbound caller ID, by default set to campaign. We generally recommend to do the customer's phone number. So if you have to do third-party verification, when you call the third party, they'll see the customer's phone number rather than campaign ID in case they have a job call. Here's the allowed transfer groups. So if you want to, for example, I only want this campaign to transfer to group 5,000. This is their option there. So they can only transfer to that group for whatever the reason may be. Here you have your list attached to this campaign. So you have one for 130,000 and one for 6,000. So they're both active and working in the system. You're going to see that the campaign has 127,000 leads, 180 are in the hopper that are being worked. So that's it for the video for modifying campaigns. Stay tuned for some more videos.